media where Sixers head coach Doc Rivers threw Ben Simmons out of practice today, and the team has suspended him for one game for, quote, detrimental conduct to the team. Simmons' reluctance to engage with the team has been a theme since his return. Take a listen to what Joel Embiid and Doc Rivers had to say about the situation.
Do you feel he wants to be here? Now, you have a personal...
Well, today, not, obviously. We told him to go home. But hopefully at some point, yeah, I do.
At this point, I don't care about that man, honestly. He does whatever he wants. But at the end of the day, our job is not to babysit somebody. We here, we get paid to produce on the court, go out, play hard, win some games. That's all we get paid for. We don't get paid to come out here and, try to babysit somebody. And so that's not our job. And I'm sure my teammates feel that way.
Joined now by the co-host of The Herd and the host of the Joy Taylor Show, Joy Taylor. What's up now? But Slick, going to you first. What should the Sixers do about Ben Simmons?
They should do the same thing that the Brooklyn Nets are doing with Kyrie Irving. The Brooklyn Nets don't want Kyrie Irving with them because they're afraid that he's going to infect them with COVID. Well, the Philadelphia 76ers should quarantine Ben Simmons because they don't want to be infected by whatever toxicity he's carrying from the way they talked about him last summer when they ended up losing the series to the Atlanta Hawks. And so they just have to make this decision. This idea that we're going to bring him in and we're going to try to slow play this and he's going to come around. That's clearly not the case. Ben Simmons is there because he doesn't want to be fined, because he's hoping to still pick up some of his game checks. He's already lost the first one. But he's not there because he wants to make good on his relationship with Doc Rivers of the Philadelphia 76ers or anybody else. He has made it clear. He made it clear this summer. He's making it clear right now. He does not want to be there. So they should take the simple approach. If you're not with us, then you can't be with us. And whether it's you decide to fine him and suspend him, and he says, well, I'm showing up, and you're saying, well, but you're not participating the way somebody who's showing up needs to, you can figure out the finances. I'd put that on the side. The reality is the Philadelphia 76ers still have expectations of playing for a title. They still have the talent to be in that conversation in the Eastern Conference. And at this point, it's addition by subtraction. General Manager Daryl Morey has to get off this idea that he's going to get equal return back for any deal with Ben Simmons. Move him for what you can get and move on.
Oh, well, we rarely start the show with me and you agreeing, Rick, but we do today. I agree that the only choice that they have at this point is to keep him away from the team. It's not a quarantine situation exactly, but we've seen this before where they're working on a trade for someone and they just tell them not to show up until it's done. Now, Ben Simmons is going to lose money if he chooses not to show up, so they'll probably have to work out something with Rich Paul and the team on how they're going to keep him away and continue paying him because, at the end of the day, this is money and the reason why he's there. But there's a lot of blame to go around in this situation. I'm normally on a player's side. This is not one of those times where I'm going to be on Ben Simmons' side. I think that there's blame to give to the organization for allowing it to get to this point. He's in the building with you every day. He's with the guys every single day. You know what his personality is. All of us could see this coming, maybe not to the disaster level that it is now, but we've been talking about this for years, that this is not working, this doesn't fit. And this addiction to winning the trade has now led them to a situation that almost can't be fixed. If I'm another team, why am I signing up for Ben Simmons? Why am I giving you anything for a situation that is clearly toxic in an organization that is not poorly run, very well respected around the league, great fan base, great roster. They're a contender every single year, a good coach. What am I missing here? If Ben Simmons is this upset, and it is apparent that his own teammates don't even really know what specifically he's upset about. Taylor Rooks tweeted that earlier, that there really isn't even an understanding what he's really mad about. You can't do anything with the situation but remove him from the rest of the team. It's a toxic situation. Ben Simmons is clearly not interested in being there, contributing in any kind of positive way, which is actually counterproductive to what he wants if he wants to be traded. Because as I just mentioned, if I'm another team, why am I signing up for that? When you've turned on them, why wouldn't you turn on us? So the whole situation is a complete disaster. It has hit the fan in Philadelphia. And I believe that most of this could have been avoided if it wasn't such a high asking price for a player who is an elite player at certain things. He is an elite defender. He is a great distributor. He can contribute to a team. But the intangibles, the issues with that are mounting up. And it's becoming an impossible situation for both Ben Simmons and Philadelphia.
Man. How should these teammates feel about Ben Simmons? Woo, let's get into this one. One, I just want to preface everything by saying I hate when people get stuck like this. Like, I hate this for Ben Simmons. I hate this for Embiid a little. And I hate this for this organization a little as well. But I'm going to defend Ben Simmons maybe a little more than the average Joe. You guys know from your own experiences, when you get into a fight, like the times you had a fight, physical fight, 8th grade, whatever it may be, you know why you're fighting. But now as we've grown older, when you get into arguments, sometimes you can get out of reach and out of touch with why you even arguing in the first place, right? A fight is different. Hey, fool, what you doing? And an argument is like, now we just talking about who's smarter or who got the last word. We really are not arguing what we started arguing over. Now let's talk about what they are arguing over. They're arguing over the fact that Joel Embiid was unnecessarily empowered when he was on IR, when he wasn't the active player, when he wasn't the dude, when he was in and out the lineup, empowered to have this large of a voice, that much of volume in a voice. Okay, that's fine because you're a baller. But guess who also is a baller? Ben Simmons, right? But Ben Simmons goes around and he does his work quietly. That's fine. But all of a sudden, there's issues with Embiid's game, issues with Embiid in terms of availability, but there's also glaring issues with the game of Ben Simmons. But what happens? Because Joel Embiid is empowered by our organization, he gets to voice those. And we saw it come to an ugly head in the playoffs this year. I blame Joel Embiid for not being the leader that they want. Not a 7-foot TikToker, not a dude that's out there trying to lead the dance and trying to take this organization in all these different ways, instead of just being a disciplined leader. That's fine, because you were growing and learning as well. But to call out a teammate and then throw those rocks and then hide your hands like, I don't know what's wrong with him, but I don't care about him anymore. Come on, big dog. We know the locker room better than that. I'm also mad at this organization. Just like I am a parent, I understand when I see two of my kids fighting, it's on me to restore order. And it's on me to keep the discipline. This organization didn't do that. Why would you let this get to a place where Ben Simmons now has little to no value? What kind of organization are you? Like, you have no foresight to see where this is going, and then you don't have the discipline to stop it in the moment? To me, there's a lot of blame to go around. And Ben Simmons is sitting back quietly hoping that maybe someone else raises their hand to take some of that blame.
You both make great points. And to Marcellus's last one, I'm actually with you in that I see where Ben Simmons is coming from. I mean, he has been made the scapegoat for the fact that they lost that series, and it's all been hooked on one play. One situation where he didn't shoot the ball and he passed it instead. And look, that's just too heavy a weight to put on one play. If you look at how the Philadelphia 76ers played collectively, it's not fair. And not only, it's not just the media that did that. Joel Embiid did it. And Doc Rivers questioned whether I can win a championship with Ben Simmons. So if you're Ben Simmons, you're thinking, well, wait. I thought we were in this together, and now you're going to hang all of that on me? You guys made your share of mistakes, too. You, Doc, made your share of mistakes. Joel, you made your share of mistakes down the stretch, and now you're going to put all of that on me. Here is the problem, though, Joy, and you pointed it out. Neither side is going about this the right way in terms of getting it done. If Ben Simmons wants to get traded, not showing up and then half-assing it when you do is not the answer to getting somebody to say, hey, we need Ben Simmons. That's who we need as a solution for our problems.
Facts.
And Philadelphia, Daryl Morey took the wrong approach from the very beginning. When they approached it and it was like, hey, C.J. McCollum, can we get C.J. McCollum? We want Damian Lillard, or we want Bradley Beal. It's like, What do you think you're dealing with? Like, they don't need to move those guys. You need to move Ben Simmons.
Right.
So you're not working from a position of leverage. Why are you putting the bar that high? Now you're stuck because you put the bar that high. So they've both created a problem. And that's why, Marcellus, what do you do when your kids are they're just going at each other, and it's to the point where they're both redlining? There's no talking sense to anybody. You separate them.
You got to give them a
You
point.
have them go and cool off, and that's what needs to happen here. They can come back together at some other point and settle their differences, hopefully when they're with different organizations. But for right now, there's no coming together. Like, Doc Rivers is cracking me up with this. Yeah, you know, we threw him out of practice today, but who knows? Maybe tomorrow he'll show up and he'll be 100%. It's like, you guys got to come to the reality. This has not been working. It is not working. And most important, it is not going to work. So move the hell on.
Yeah, everybody's hanging on for no reason at this point. I mean, he's there so he doesn't get fined. So again, to my earlier points, they have to come to an agreement on what they're going to do about the money, because Ben Simmons is clearly only there so that he doesn't lose money, which is not a healthy situation for the rest of the team. A team, by the way, Marcellus, who tried to go out and talk to him. So it's not like they didn't try to make amends. And listen, we all get into situations where we ain't trying to hear it anymore. So that's fine. That's where Ben Simmons is. But it's not like they didn't try to work this out. Also, you are a professional. You are a professional. There are certain things that you have to do sometimes as a professional you don't really necessarily want to do. We all do things we don't necessarily want to do, but we're professionals so that we do them, so our careers continue, and that's where it has reached with Ben Simmons. Ben Simmons, by the way, whose scoring and rebounding has decreased